Hello, welcome to Covering Sports with Prince, and in this segment today I'm going to be speaking about the Lamont Roach versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight this week, the 7th of December 2025, and who I think is going to be victorious in this fight. So, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, 27 years of age, standing at 5'4", 63.5-inch reach, 32 fights, 28 wins, 1 draw against Joe's Kaliyekak, and 3 losses, 1 being against Miguel Montano, Jose Valenzuela, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, one thing about Pitbull Cruz is his style never changes, and you always know what to expect from Pitbull Cruz when he's going to fight. Pressure fighter, Mexican style, just keeps coming forward from round 1 to round 12. He's never been dropped in his career. So with that Mexican fighting style and not being dropped, quite basically sums up how tough and rugged Isaac Cruz is as a fighter. Now, when it comes to boxing skill, boxing ability, Isaac Cruz is decent, but he's not great. His fighting style that I mentioned previously, pressure fighter, walks you down, hits your arms quite a lot to kind of weaken your guard. He has a very, 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 very good high guard. And he has power. He can punch. In his 28 wins, he has 18 KOs. So he's definitely capable of knocking an opponent out. We've seen what he done to Rolly Romero. And I bring up Rolly Romero because Rolly Romero is an opponent that has a lot of power. He has great punching power. He's a heavy hitter. And Lamont Roach, he stands at 5'7", 68-inch reach, 25 wins, 2 draws, an infamous draw against Gervonta Davis, which the masses believe Lamont Roach was robbed of a win. And Lamont Roach has a loss against Jamal Herring. Lamont Roach being the better boxer, Lamont Roach having the better footwork, I don't believe that's going to be enough for him to beat Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Because the fighting style of Pitbull Cruz is to continuously come forward. When we see Lamont Roach against Gervonta Davis, which wasn't the best version of Gervonta Davis, not taking anything away from Lamont Roach because he won that fight, but he wasn't really being pressurized. Everyone knows that Gervonta Davis is a slow starter. As the round progresses, he gets better, but he didn't pick up in that fight. So Lamont Roach had the time to telegraph the punches of Gervonta Davis, which he done perfectly well. Great tactics, great execution. Now, Pitbull Cruz, with his fighting style, not the best boxer, doesn't have the best footwork, but it's the pressure. When you have a fighter like that pressurizes you, there's 2 things you ought to have. 1, have the power to make them respect you, to not come forward like that because they know you have the capability of knocking them out. And 2, have the ability to outbox them and move. Be pressured like that, fight on the back foot from round 1 to round 12. I have Isaac Pitbull Cruz winning the fight for that reason, because I don't feel like Lamont Roach has the power to make Isaac Pitbull Cruz stand off. And him most likely being on the back foot in this fight, I don't feel like Lamont Roach is going to have the endurance to keep up with Isaac Pitbull Cruz for 12 rounds. Because when you're fighting on the back foot, you need the stamina to go from round 1 to round 12 without tiring, and have the ability to box at a high level from round 1 to round 12. Lamont Roach, great concentration, always switched on. Where's the endurance part? When Isaac Cruz is coming at you and he's laying into your body with them shots, and he's punching your guard and he's punching your forearms to kind of make you drop. After the 5th round, Isaac Cruz begins to tire and he becomes more of a sitting duck. You know, his head doesn't really move as much. You know, he just absorbs the punches and he just keeps coming forward. So to be honest, this should make for an exciting fight. But I do believe if I am to predict a round, I have Isaac Pitbull Cruz beating Lamont Roach by a knockout in the 5th round. And in saying that, thank you for tuning in to Covering Sports with Prince.